inside. But you are happy because you're filmmakers with a film on the big screen in the middle of Los Angeles, California.
The best theater ever, the Landmark.
That's right.
Hello.
We were just talking earlier. I was monologizing earlier about how this very place, this area, is where so many movies have premiered since the beginning of film. I mean, this is really it, and you're here doing the same thing today. And what I think is extraordinary in your Elegy for a Revolution, in your film, is that we're now seeing people retelling stories from history using modern media. In other words, the way to get it out to somebody who actually cares is to get it out to somebody who actually cares. Is that part of your idea?
Absolutely. I mean, we did incorporate some authentic news footage from the 1970s about apartheid, and then we combined and we had to create South Africa here in LA. So it was some movie magic tricks, but we authenticated, the look, I believe. I've never been to South Africa. This guy we had to follow his... Did we do it?
Perfectly. Yes, it was...
Help us with your name.
Van Zyl, Paul Van Zyl, born and raised in South Africa. Came out here to Los Angeles many, many years ago and went to the American Film Institute in 1984. Graduated in 1984. And Chris is... when were you there, Chris?
Through the AFI.
Right.
So, through the AFI alumni. So.
And the beautiful lady here, who I just bashed with my fist in the microphone, that was not in any way to push you out.
Down. Get him back.
Yes, but I want to invite you back in here because we got to say hi to Paul and help us know who you are. Not enough of him. Yeah, say that to him off camera, huh?
I'm Stacy Ekstein. I'm the producer of the film, and I'm very excited to do it. I'm very interested in social justice topics that are interesting too, with the real story, and this was one that I was lucky enough. Chris and I have a production company together. He's a cinematographer, and he and Paul came to the project with me. And it's based on, I should mention that it's also based on a book, Elegy for a Revolutionary, and true stories. And Paul was also involved in the movement, and it's about the apartheid movement, and two guys that get involved and they mean well, but they end up resorting to violence and get into trouble.
Yeah, and we wrestle nowadays, whether it's Occupy this or that. Should we be nonviolent? Should we follow Dr. Martin Luther King? Should we follow Gandhi? Should we follow Henry Thoreau? Sit by a pond, throw a rock in there, watch it ripple, and have deep thoughts.
Right.
Or should we get all pissed off and run screaming and yelling down the middle of the street, which is what we want to do.
Right.
Because we are upset, we are inflamed. But I think in your film, you actually reveal that the way that works best is... Come on in, you're on the spot.
Well, there's really no true answer, but if you have your neighbor who's throwing his dog's crap into your backyard, you literally have to do something about it, and it's the choices you make. And you're between a rock and a hard place. You're between the devil and the deep blue sea. So you need to do something. It's just how you approach it and what you do. And it's a hard question to answer.
I think it's great that you're talking to younger people using new media, because so many younger people have a real material struggle. Whether they owe a bank 80 grand for an education, and if they had a job, it would take 27 years to pay it off. And so in many ways, they're right. We all need to be working right now. And so there's a different kind of oppression. It looks different, but they feel like they're in the same place. What do you do? What do you really do? And I imagine there's a lot of insights after making a film like this, because you're really having to analyze the situation. I'm not going to put you, I'm going to put you a little on the spot. Any sort of life lessons you got out of doing this?
It's really not about the circumstances, but it's about the choices that you make within the circumstances. I think that is the biggest life lesson, which is the most important, how you maintain your integrity, but yet get the job done. It's like facing up to a bully. What's the best way to do it? There is no best way. But there are certain ways, and it's just how you go about it, keeping your integrity, but getting the job done.
That is the perfect answer. No, that really is the perfect answer, because at the end of the day, it really is. What's my motivation? Am I being true to my ideals? You know, Billy Shakespeare, to thine own self be true. Well, now look at Billy. But at the time, it made a lot of sense. But this is really wonderful that you guys have put together this movie, because for the first time, for many, this is going to be the first access they've ever had to a historical piece that is not taught in school, because it's highly unpopular for people to have consciousness about this stuff. So you guys are delivering history in a palatable, delicious way that is good storytelling, it's gripping, and it has an ending from which we get to happily learn and apply to our own lives. I don't think I'm incorrect in saying that.
Yeah, I mean, Nelson Mandela is in the hospital today, and he's on life support. But there's a character that's kind of him. It's bringing the real history back to people today, and it was, it's hard to understand apartheid. It was really intense, and we were in the streets fighting over other stuff, and which is important too. But this was a different level, and so you could kind of understand how these guys could resort to violence to fight an evil that big. Like if Hitler came to town, maybe you should be violent, or do something. You can't just sit around and let it happen.
I think it's what it brings to light is terrorism. It's not a new subject, and what makes you I'm sure there are things that people do that wouldn't consider themselves a terrorist, but it brings to light that topic, because it's very, and we see in the streets in Europe with people struggling and the kids can't find work, and it's all different things, but and feeling powerless, but it brings some of the perils of those choices in three people, and it's not a new topic. Unfortunately, it's not going to go away, a topic. So I think addressing it not from just a point of actually getting to know these characters and telling their story, and they were very well intentioned and they meant very well, but we can kind of learn with them and see from them, and I think it actually is very relevant to kids today with what they're going and seeing, these are the perils of meaning well and really wanting to make a difference and get the, loudest bang, but it doesn't always, that may not be the best way to go about it.
So,
I want to say that I actually met Nelson Mandela, and one of the biggest things that he said to me, he said, "Paul, you're a very angry man, very angry young boy." I was very young at the time, and he said to me, anger is like one syllable away from danger. And that was the biggest lesson I got from him, was to try and channel that anger into something constructive. And I messed up horribly. If you were to see the story or see the film, we tried to do a good job, but it ended up horribly. But I will always remember
But it
that
makes great drama.
it does. It's a great story.
and it is America. We do love drama.
Yes.
Thank you for being brave. Thank you for jumping off the high dive into your life and other people's lives. Thank you for bringing history into a modern way to have it delivered. And we are wishing you well. And we're going to usher you so politely off the red carpet and say congratulations to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, my
Thank
friend.
you.
We'll see you again. Cary Harrison with you. I am with Public Broadcasting. You can go to my website at GoHarrison.com. GoHarrison.com anytime.
Irina Maleeva, and she's in the music video Let's Face the Music and Dance. And so there, hello.
Hi, Irina. We're so glad to have you on board today. And everybody loves music. In fact, can you name anybody in the world who really doesn't like music and dance?
Oh, I can't.
Probably not. We may not know about it in a technical way, but we all know that it hits us in the heart, and that's what you're involved with today.
Yes. I have a music video tomorrow. It's going to be shown tomorrow, and it's called Let's Face the Music and Dance.
An old Fred Astaire title, right? Or a Fred Astaire song.
Yes, he did dance, and he did that song by Irving Berlin. We just have a new version on it. The version is with Brazilian rhythm from the Amazon River, so it's a little more funky. It's quite incredible. We have silhouettes. I mean, I just love the song. I love the whole production.
And when we think about musicals, and we go back to the 1930s, we mentioned Fred Astaire very briefly, Irving Berlin. This was the template of getting people together, especially during a depression, is giving them these fantastic and amazing ways to watch people express themselves through movement and sound. We really had it was new, talking pictures, right? 1929, so this is in the early 30s. And you've taken that and cultivated it today using modern technology, using the greatest choreography, right? Passion and Brazil. I mean, who doesn't love that? So I'm guessing we've got some real spirited stuff happening.
I would say so, really. Yes, I just did a show at the Hudson Theatre, which was based on my CD, the release of the CD called Illusions. So this is part of the CD and part of the show, Illusions, and it's Let's Face the Music and Dance. It's about let's be happy at this moment because we don't know what happens tomorrow.
That's right. Well, those are great words for us to live by, and I want to thank you so much. Is there a website or somewhere where people might go check out Let's Face the Music and Dance?
My website is Irina, irinamaleeva.com, and it's also on YouTube, on Facebook, the video, and right, and the CD is being sold on iTunes and CD Baby.
Thank you so much for joining us today here at the New Media Film Festival.
Thank you very much.
And we wish you well. We look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And as you can see, we have such a wide spectrum of entertainment going on. We have stuff with social consciousness. We have music and dance. We have stuff that has double meanings. We have science fiction. We have it all going on here. This is the 4th annual festival here, and of course it's taking place in Los Angeles, the heart and soul, the birthplace of all things entertaining, the media capital of Earth, and that's why we're live streaming to you today from the New Media Film Festival here in West